Here we are, out here at your awesome home in Flourtown, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what made you move into this area.
Location was really a big thing for us, and kind of bang for the buck. Great area, great school district, which is obviously a plus. And with me traveling between New York and Philadelphia for 2 offices all the time, being right down the street from the Turnpike was fantastic.
I guess before we get into the water feature, you got some awesome cars sitting up here.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me what you got here.
I'm a car guy. I've always liked cars. This is my birthday gift to myself in 2018, an AMG GTC Roadster. From there, my birthday gift to myself in 2019 is this 2015 Rolls-Royce Mansory Edition Ghost. And for my lovely wife, Rachel, we got her the Bentley Bentayga, the 2017 Carbon Edition.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
How long have you been married?
We got married out in Italy on October 18th this year. So while these guys were out here doing a great job at making the front yard look fantastic, we got to be away for half of the construction, so that was kind of nice.
That's cool. Did you take any of the cars for a ride?
What?
What made you want a water feature? What made you start looking around?
So, it's interesting. When we bought the house, it came with this putting green. It was already installed. There's a putting green and 4 chipping boxes. So based off of that, I got the idea. I'm like, I would love nothing more than to have to hit my golf balls onto the green over a pond and actually have a water hazard in there. So that's kind of where the idea was born. It's something to complement the putting green and the chipping boxes that were there, but it's something really cool to have almost Zen related in the front yard anyways.
I know that this was kind of phase 1 was to get the water feature in, and then you're going to do some other phases to this to really finish everything up. So this is the first phase that we're here to show you.
And one of the things that's actually why this job was very complimentary to what we needed to do. We had these stacked stone walls, and they're 104 years old, and all the mortar was shot, and the one corner had already crumbled and already come down. And I talked to some different masonry companies about what it's going to cost me to have this rebuilt, and I tried to do one section of wall myself. It took weeks. I was terrible at it. So I was looking into, what is this really going to run? And we were getting quotes to the 50,000 plus range just for the wall work. Combining the jobs together while you guys were here was amazing. I saw almost 50% less of what I wanted to do, and I get 6 waterfalls in it at the same time. It was kind of a no-brainer.
Zach, you designed something really cool here, but let's go over there and check that part out. So here we are in front of the waterfall that you see right from the driveway. Man, what a focal point. This is cool.
George and Rachel just kind of handed us this project and said, "Seen your work, what do you think is best?" And we just kind of ran with that. We set up a budget, we worked it, and we were able to capture these walls, get a pond, get a water hazard, and really incorporate the views like we always do. Sights and sounds for the house, coming into this governor's driveway and just having it all tied together. Typically our ponds and water features, we don't like symmetry. We want to stay natural and organic. But here we just had this perfect round circle we're driving around, so we knew we had to do something a little bit formal. Yeah. That's where the fountains came into play, and splitting those in the middle with a waterfall.
I'll say one of the most important factors for us was for this to not look like, hey, I'm at a Disneyland-esque resort or a mini golf course, but really wanted it to tie into the area, Wissahickon and everything that had been, we really wanted it to look like it's been here for, the 100+ years that the house has been here, and that it really tied in together.
One of the coolest things that I noticed as soon as I came up here was, the house is really wide, the driveway is really wide, and you made this look really wide by adding multiple features and keeping everything nice and wide, and it really made it fit and scale. And that was one really neat thing about this feature, is it's not just long and narrow, you put a lot of width on it, which makes it look even better.
The staircase was already constructed, so it gave us this balance point that we had to kind of center off of the house, which really helped us during construction as we were setting the boulders and making sure, we had a good point to measure off of and keep things in line with this semicircle of the driveway. It's not super often that we have our water level of our pond 9 steps up from the driveway.
Right.
So there's a lot of really cool stuff that came into play here. And as we walked through, just seeing that the chipping boxes, where we wanted to hit through, where you wanted to hit over, but still always being able to see these waterfalls running. And then kind of actually hiding where it was landing. He's got some really cool future ideas with sandboxes, and it's a pretty special project. And George and Rachel just gave us all the trust in the world to do something cool here. The basin behind us is tied in with the pond. We have 2 pumps running. One is running for the bog. Secondary pump is running these walls, as well as a second spillway rock that's kicking into the pond, kind of balanced off. As you walk up the steps, you get this extra waterfall that goes in here. So this is all tied together. The other basin is just for a spillway and the 2 walls. It's oversized, more than we needed it to be, but we wanted to, again, match the size to over there, especially with the visuals as far away as you are. You're really gonna see those differences, so.
So we keep mentioning the pond. I think we should go check that out.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, so here we are at the pond. Man, this came out great. Nice job with the install on this one.
Just got this turned on a day or 2 ago. Still a little cloudy. We didn't want this pond to be like super overwhelming in size. We kind of wanted it to be like a focal point, but really the elevations going up and down the hills, being waterfalls, steps, access to and from every kind of part of this was really, really important as we walked up these steps, what we're starting to explore and being able to easily go from one place to another. So that's where, you know, as we walk around, we took these rocks right up to the edge where the existing steps were. We added this small little patio portion, which kind of opens things up. So we can go right, we can go left, and then left has its own options, right? We're going down to a future patio area. You can hang out there, or you can step up and get to the putting green.
And what was really important for us was, as you come up the steps, I needed a way to be able to step up to the chipping boxes on this side and also to the green on this side for the functionality of it. Right. Sometimes we want to come up and just work on putting. Sometimes I want to come up and chip. Sometimes I want to do both. So there needed to be pathways to get up to the boxes, get up to the green, and also traverse from the boxes to the green. The way these stepping stones and the rocks came out were fantastic.
Yeah, and aesthetically, the way that you tied them in, like with your grades and your slopes and everything, building everything off, gives it that natural look again that we were talking about a little bit earlier.
And that's why we avoided using any kind of formal bluestone steps. All the steps are all flat top boulders. But one is really cool. You actually, as you walk through, it's the access where the pond actually overflows underneath of it.
Yep.
And goes out to the negative edge on the basin below. So you actually get to walk across a little piece of the stream.
One of the other things that stood out to me as soon as I walked up the steps that I thought was so cool, you know, you have your main stream coming down. The fact that there's just this one right here that has just this bubbling rock waterfall coming off, and then this side, you know, is much more massive and stands out a lot more. I just think that's really cool. Just this little feature over here that drops in, but really creates that reason for this putting green and all these rocks to be here. So I think this waterfall over here is like super cool, dropping right into the pond.
It also, it gives us a chance to do waterfalls coming into the pond at different elevations too. It seemed like the perfect spot, dead center right in front of the steps. We wanted to see something so that if you do go that way to go down to the patio, you know, you weren't kind of like turning your neck to still look at some waterfalls. You got a good visual as you're walking, and then you're walking right down alongside a stream as you go to sit down and relax.
That's one of the things I think is really cool about this. I love that stream. But once that patio's finished, and we're gonna be sitting down there, you're gonna have a stream right behind you. And you have that big drop going down to the driveway, which not only has the great visual, but the zen factor of sitting on the patio and relaxing with it. I think that's just a great tie-in.
So I think the pond came out really, really good.
I would agree.
I can't wait to see some aquatic plants in this thing too. That's just gonna make it even.
Yeah, come spring when a lot of the planning's in and, you know, we can get some stuff in here and some fish. I mean, obviously we're at the end of the season now, so we don't want to go too crazy now, but yeah, this came out spectacular.
So the waterfall and the wetland are up higher. Let's go check that area out.
Sure.
Here we are up here at the wetland and got streams and waterfalls all around us. First thing I'm noticing is how this thing sounds. Wow, this is a cool spot.
I love this area up here. This is kind of our Saturday morning hangout. You know, sit up here with a cup of coffee and relax. But obviously I spend a lot of time here, as just right off camera is where some of the chipping boxes are. So it's really nice to have to come up and over this in order to, you know, make a proper shot, so.
We wanted to cross over water as he was chipping, as he's hitting his golf ball. So we really needed to get stream to this point in order for him to actually hit over the water hazard, which is why we didn't move it up. You know, we thought about that, maybe access around the back that you could walk around. Then we thought, you know, it just would be really awesome. We had a nice wide stream, some natural boulders that we could cross here, so that's where this came out. A lot of the sights and sound, you're sitting on the split rock right now, so it sends a little bit of sight and sound this direction. Yep. We've got a Biofalls 2500 that just kind of tops off. It's a little extra filtration. It's really for more flow across the top.
The first thing I said to you is it seems like a lot of filtration. Tell me why you did that and what your thought was on it.
For here in particular, as you can see, the trees around here, it's a large amount of organic debris that comes into here. So for an 11 by 16, 12 by 18 size pond, this is definitely overkill. But when you start incorporating all of the footage of stream length that we have, all the organic material that's coming into it, it is falling over a negative edge that's near a driveway. There's elements and just contaminants that may get into here. Two very large Great Danes, I'm sure, are gonna be spending some time in here in the spring. It also just needed to fit, size-wise, right? We've got this huge length of stream. We're a good 50, 60 feet away till the negative edge to up here. So, you know, if we had a little 4x6 base at the top, it just would look unbalanced.
So it would scale off.
So yeah, definitely would throw the scale off. I mean, everything about balance. Sometimes we do have to go a little bigger on the filter, which is never a bad thing.
And your water quality can suffer. If you get a lot of organic debris in there that's breaking down, you may go through spikes more frequently than you will if you just oversize the filtration system. So we've been talking a lot about golf, and there's a putting green over here. So let's go over there and check that area out.
All right.
Rachel joined us. You know, we went over it a little bit earlier. One of the hardest part of water feature projects is the trust factor, because we honestly don't know exactly what it's going to look like either. We have ideas and we, you know, got these thoughts, but until the material shows up, we don't really get to take it and put it all together. So it's the, thank you for trusting us with that portion of it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the pond tour really helped, just kind of seeing what you put together for other people gave us some ideas. So certainly that was really helpful, and you know, again, I could not be happier. First day that I came out and saw it when it was almost nearly complete was there's this boulder by itself. Sat myself down with a coffee and stayed out here for a while, just enjoying the sound of the water, the sound of the waterfalls, and you know, seeing the stream from up high. It was that's definitely, you know, it's funny, it seems a little odd, but that's one of my favorite things about it, is just being able to sit on that rock and enjoy it. And again, it looks like it's always been there. So
great job. Thank you again. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, keep building your outdoor dreams. Let's go do some chipping.
Yeah. After we move those really expensive cars.
Yeah, exactly.